25, she's 50.
This is you next year.
I have your name on the agenda.
She's a go-getter. She's
I will pass it off.
It's.
Advocate. Advocate his time at this.
I will yield my time.
There you go.
So this is, she's all on community engagement. Stuff. So this is the first time that she's ever done anything like this.
Oh,
So,
really?
like, as far as like the idea that she's presenting to you. So,
So I got her somebody else.
I'm sure she'd be able to do that.
Nate, take a phone call.
Yeah, I don't know if it was his wife. Everything's- yeah. I think that's the close.
Yeah.
Are you feeling so well? Get out of my seat. No, we can start coming in past if you want. I'll just come in. Like masking tape. Hey,
Do I need to go? Do I need to go get the public safety building stuff?
All them kids?
No.
Just lost it. It was a good game.
No, it
Thanks.
looks like a good time.
You know, Great American Ballpark's a great place to see it.
Yeah.
There's not a bad seat in the house.
How old, Tom?
Huh?
Was it Tom? It was Carrie's dad, right? That we went with your dad.
Ready to go ahead and get started.
Yeah.
80 years old today.
Let's do that then.
Knows what he wanted.
Hang on one second.
8-0,
The man that harasses me on the corner of my
Yeah.
house.
1945.
Okay.
We're going to call the Board of Public Safety meeting to order and begin with the minutes from the last meeting.
Mayor, make a motion that we approve the minutes of September 8th. For the next meeting.
I'm going to second. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Any amendments today, Ken? First item under old business then are simply an acknowledgement from the public safety building that we will be accepting Hearn Construction. They were the lowest responsive bidder. Went through the verification process of that. So the next step, we've drafted a notice to proceed, which then will signify their need to schedule a kickoff meeting. So at the kickoff meeting, we'll get some expectation on timelines and then order materials and such. So that's kind of the next big step that we're be coordinating. So be on the lookout for an email as we schedule that kickoff. Under new business, 2 items from the Tipton Main Street Association. The first is the Halloween Bash street closure, and that's in your packet, Ken.
I can do the whole email.
Yep.
Thank you.
Morning.
Hi, good morning, Abby Ripperger. The Halloween Bash is on October 4th, and it will be in the parking lot just east of the courthouse. But because we are having a band play on the stage, we would like to have Court Street shut down. This year, we were excited to be able to have the band play on the stage because we're able to open that to the community. So there is a ticketed part of the event. There will be a tent and roped off area within that parking lot that the county is allowing us to use. But we're kids are going to be able to come up and have their face painted and get a little pumpkin from Tim if they're dressed in costume, and then the band will be playing on the stage so the whole community can hear. So just for safety reasons, we think closing Court Street, if at all possible, from about 4 p.m. or we have noon, I guess she has noon. It's Saturday, so it's Saturday, October 4th, from noon to 11. Just noon is like kind of a stretch, but we'll be setting up. So just to cover all of our bases. But normally when we did this last year, we didn't need any street closures because we were fully in the parking lot. And it was fine, but just with inviting the kids in the community, we thought maybe it would be best. And the alley, I guess, too. The alley between the plaza
Just south of
and
the
the
stage.
parking lot. If that's a thing we can do. And 15 trash cans. Thanks, Patty. God, she's good. And 15 trash cans.
Oh, I see you've got the okay from everybody, so I'll make a motion to approve the street closures for the Halloween Bash.
Second. There's been a motion and a second to approve the street closure on Court Street on October 4th, starting at noon, ending at 11 p.m. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you.
Motion passes.
These girls are hollow. You guys are tis the season. What's your day?
Next. Next is a street closure for Tipton Main Street related to the 'Tis the Season Christmas event for December 5th.
Yes. It's our 10th year.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Yeah. Kendra Hummel, from Main Street. We would like to close, as you can see, the list, Madison Street, Main Street, Court Street, Jefferson Street, from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. that evening. We'll also be closing the parking lot behind the courthouse and the parking lot to the east across from the library. Those parking lots should be closed at 4 p.m. when the courthouse closes.
These are the same closures as last year?
Yep.
Any concerns with the 'Tis the Season street closures?
I don't know what Mr. Cochran going to do. Is he dressing up as Santa Claus?
Not quite yet. Got a couple more years before we give it to Rob.
I don't have enough gray in my hair like you do.
I'll make a motion to approve street closures for his season.
We have a motion and a second to approve the street closure for 'Tis the Season on December 5th, beginning at 4 p.m. All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye. Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving then through our department business, I'm going to jump to fire department to start. Chief Bittner.
Good morning.
Morning.
Any questions over the monthly stats from August? Basically, the first thing for the month was Pork Festival, fire department. Filled the dunk tank for the girls softball league and the inflatable pool that had the inflatable balls. Participated in the kickoff parade on Thursday and the grand finale parade on Saturday. The members of Local 1979 collected money for MDA to fill the boot that's typically around the Labor Day time frame. I believe they only did it on Saturday afternoon for about 4 hours, and they collected $1,400 for MDA. So, pretty good collection for a short amount of time. We attended the 9/11 proclamation greeting by Mayor Schmicker. We just had all of our ground ladders tested, all passed. Ladder 10 had the annual aerial testing. There were some small defects found that need attention. The main thing being the hydraulic leak. It's not to where it's dripping out on the floor or anything like that, causing a problem. When he was inspecting some of the fittings, he noticed they were wet. It looked like there was a small drip starting to form. But other than that, everything passed. We had a budget meeting with Mayor Schmicker, myself, and Adam DeWitt from Dispatch met with the Salvation Army on Thursday. They are wanting to get together a little program where they fill these, what they call basically like a little Rubbermaid tote, and fill it with some toiletries and essentials and call them fire totes. So if anybody has a house fire and they lose stuff that they would need right away, they can request one of those fire totes and have some basic essential needs. From the word go, we also did find out in that meeting that if anyone in the county does have a fire and lose their clothing or don't have access to their clothing, they can go to Second Blessing, and Second Blessing will allow them to pick out clothing for what each member of the family needs. So thought that was pretty cool. We had no clue about that, Adam nor myself. So that was good. The on-duty crew attended story time at the Tipton Library on Thursday evening. They seemed to enjoy it. They wondered if they ran over on time a little bit too much. They said it was scheduled for about an hour. They were there for about an hour and 45 minutes. So
Oh, wow.
I think they had a good time. We also upcoming, the police versus fire, FOP versus the Union, golf outing October 10th. So we're hoping for good weather and good turnout for that. Still fully staffed, other than the Achilles injury vacancy that we have. Getting ready to hire two new firefighter EMTs and one firefighter paramedic to start part-time. So hopefully we can get some of those positions filled with part-timers. Performance recognition, my entire department, honestly, like every day they go in, they do their jobs. I'm proud of them. They're what makes the department run. So, for performance recognition, I'd like to recognize my entire department. I think last time we were here, Mr. Crane, you brought up that we'd had a couple runs involving pediatrics. We had another one after that did not turn out well. So something that I think I had only seen twice in my career up until recently, we had 3 pretty intense runs in the span of about a month and a half to 2 months. So they've all handled it well. They performed well on the runs. So I'd just like to give kudos to them. They've seen some high stress situations recently, and they've all handled it well. Moving to number 4, budget. We did get ladder 10's payment. We got that paid off with the reserve fund, so that payment for this year is moved to the wage line to help out with everything. The Assistance to Firefighters Grant should open sometime soon in the fall. I haven't seen a specific date. They've just said right now fall.
Mhm.
So I'm sure our grant writer is looking out for that. That's a pretty big one. I think Captain Moss was here at the council meeting, EMS program, making about $10,000 a month in the second year, which is a pretty successful rate that quickly. Public programs, events, we've had Pork Festival, the NBA, story time at the library. They attended football game, so they've been out and about, getting in the community, and the partnering with the Salvation Army on the fire totes. And that's all I have.
Any questions for Chief Debbie?
Thank you.
The only question I had, and I don't know, I forgot to ask Chief Stout if he or anything. The fleet program, any update on that one?
Yeah, finalized some
Will be in.
details last week, maybe last Tuesday.
Okay.
So I'll check to see where I know your vehicles are either manufactured or in manufacturing, and I'm not sure on fire, but they're all in that stage of being built currently.
Very good. Thank you.
Joe, I will say, on that fire truck payment, if you do a transfer for me,
Yes.
because I'll have to do a resolution for it.
I'll get, if I don't get that to you by noon, text me.
Okay.
Chief Stout,
Morning.
good morning.
Your stats are there. One new thing that I did want to point out with stats. So you have the call log stats,
Mhm.
but also now with this caliber program, you get all the arrests for the whole entire month. Every charge, there's no names attached to that, but that shows everything that's been arrested this year or this month, and whether or not they were transported or released on scene. So that's another new stat that we will be providing through that caliber program since the county is now on it.
And just to clarify, transported to jail is stop happened, and then they were taken because of the
Yes.
offense.
The ones that say released may be like we'll say, driving while suspended, and they had someone else that could drive the vehicle, so they just wrote them the ticket there and released them on scene
Okay.
instead of jailing them. So if there's not any questions about the stats. So both of our new hires, Cameron and Catherine, they are now in their FTO phase. They're in week 2 currently. They're just writing right now, a little bit of radio time, backing up officers on calls, just getting that experience. That next phase, they'll increase their productivity and they'll start driving a little bit here and there. But they're both doing really well. We did go ahead and start an application process 2 weeks ago. We did our physical fitness testing and written testing. We had 5 show up, 4 passed the physical, and only 2 passed the written. So that's kind of a common number. We usually have that 4 to 5 range go to the written, but only a few pass it. So those 2 are going to move on to the background investigations. Their applications have to be in by the 30th, the full application. We start with the pre-app, that's just basic information, and then we have everything that has transcripts from high school, college transcripts, credit check, all that kind of stuff. So those background investigations will be started by the end of the month, and then we will hold off at that point to begin interviews, depending on what happens with the officers and the other hiring process. Brandon Leisure, I think I said this last month, he was promoted to the position of captain, and then we also promoted Zach Huff to the sergeant's position. So all the rank positions are now filled within the department. Currently, both sergeants that I have, Sergeant Saltzman and Sergeant Huff, are on the same shift. They will eventually split. That way there's one on each night shift, but until these new hires are out of their FTO phase, we've already got their schedule built, so we don't want to change it mid-phase and have to rework the whole thing. So they will continue on the same shift. So Captain Leisure will be the one that's kind of over everything on one of the crews currently, but that's no issues. Staffing, so we are fully staffed with the 2 in the background portion. Bill Tipton did complete his FTO training, and he does have one of the new hires. And the new hires will go to the academy next year. There's no open classes this year, which actually is kind of nice because they get to go through the whole FTO phase and get that training before they take off and go to the academy and have to go through all of that.
When do they go to the academy?
It'll be next year. We don't have an official date yet.
Okay.
Notable incidents and operations. Obviously, I'm sure you heard about all the vehicle break-ins last week. We had several, mostly on the east side of town, and the guys are working nonstop on that. They've got a lot of good tips. We went door to door talking to residents, trying to get camera footage. We have a couple good videos. They have a couple people of interest. They're still tracking that down, but the case reports are all done. We're just, going day to day. We think it was an isolated incident. I know Howard County was hit, Greentown was hit, Noblesville was hit. We think it was all within one night. There were several days that people reported it, but we think people were just finding them later on.
Yeah.
One thing that we put on our Facebook page was you got to lock your vehicles. All the vehicles were broken into were unlocked. There were no windows busted, nothing like that. It was just open doors that people just walk by and pull on and, hey, I'm going to take this. But they are working hard on that, so hopefully we can figure that one out here soon. The budget is attached in your packet, so that was current to date as of Friday. So if you have any questions on that, Joe already talked about the fleet program. Community engagement, like Joe said, sporting events, the Pork Festival, the guys were out. Well, we had security guys at the Pork Festival that worked all weekend. We had no incidents at the Pork Festival. I think there was one little argument tussle, but by the time the guys got there, it was nothing. It was over and done with. Nobody went to jail or anything like that. And as far as any needs or requests, like Joe said, we're just kind of waiting on the fleet program to see where we're at moving forward with that, and get the parts ordered for the vehicles, and the city building. So should be good to go.
Questions for Chief Stout?
Thank you.
Very good. My report's going to be this evening, the budget. Successfully selecting the contractor for the public safety building. Like I said, we're going to get that scheduled for the kickoff. Otherwise, That wraps up the meeting this morning.
Move we adjourn.
Second, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.
12:30.
You can just have one.
Thank you.
That's fine, I'll be there. I'm just gonna go back.
Do you want a copy or do you want me
Yeah,
to
you
just?
have to have that.
Okay.
Thanks.